I'm recording it on my computer. How's that? And I'll send it. Awesome. Great. So back to talking about our guest speaker tonight. Dr. Odom is from the Jackson, Mississippi area. He worked at the University Medical Center there for a number of years and has been part of our Juice Plus company for about 25 years. And thanks to Dr. Odom, we've had several, well, there's been 41 research studies, clinical research studies that have been conducted on the product. And Dr. Odom has been part of at least 2 of those studies that I know of. And we're so grateful that for the Children's Health Study that he'll talk a little bit about, the Children's Health program that we have, Healthy Starts. And Dr. Odom was one of the people who helped get that program off the ground. And it's helped thousands and thousands of kids, children across the world to get a healthy start. So we're really, I just can't say enough good things about Dr. Odom, and we're grateful to have him tonight. So Dr. Odom, I'll let you have the stage. Thank you for being here.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for putting this together. Really appreciate that, Elizabeth, and appreciate that introduction. That was great. Thank you. And so I've got a lot to talk about. I want to leave some time at the end, maybe for some questions. So I'll just jump right in. Is that good? Okay. There's a lot of craziness in the world, as we all know, and our lives turned upside down. And I'm going to talk tonight about the immune system and how we can have a healthy, strong immune system. And I'll also tell you how we can have a very weak immune system, because that's one of the real issues worldwide, but especially in the United States. So just briefly, I know that this is on everybody's mind. There are over 2 million people that have been diagnosed with this crazy virus, this new one. There have been over 150,000 deaths worldwide. United States, there are over 667,000 positive cases or positive tests, 33,000 deaths. New York City, just under 200,000 cases and over 12,000 deaths. In Mississippi, where I live, 4,000 cases and 160 deaths. So it's everywhere. It's a lot that's on everybody's mind. And what I want to do tonight, okay, I'm not sure who it is, but if you could mute out, that would be great.
Choice Wellness, if you could mute out, please. Hello, Choice Wellness. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. That's good. Appreciate it. Now I can think. Thank you. Anyway, nobody is talking about the elephant in the room, which is our immune system. They are, but they're not. But what are we doing? We are practicing social distance, 6 feet. If you go to the grocery, you get in line anywhere, people giving you space, that's great. This is a respiratory illness. It's a virus. We're wearing masks. We're wearing shields. The best thing to do is just not get out in the world if you can. But if you do, practice these safe habits. And of course, wash your hands. That's a good idea, no matter what we're doing and where we are. The problem with washing is this is a virus, and you're not going to kill it by washing. You might get it off of your hands or maybe off of a surface, but this is the other side of the coin, and that is most people that get this virus, most people will have just a minimal illness. In fact, most people won't even know that they've had it, and but some end up in the ICU, the intensive care unit, and for some they're on a ventilator, and for others this is lethal. And why is this? It's because this virus is extremely virulent. It's very, very powerful. And there are probably multiple strains. And this virus has an uncanny ability to mutate and survive the human immune system. And especially if that immune system is already weakened. So what we're finding is that the people that are the sickest and the ones that end up in the hospital very typically are the ones that have a comorbidity or that have another concurrent cofactor. And those cofactors are generally obesity, cardiovascular issues. It might be high blood pressure, but something having to do with your cardiovascular system. Another is any autoimmune issue, and especially asthma, and or any other chronic illness or chronic disease. And we know that chronic disease is related to a lifetime of inflammation. And what we're finding is that so much of our immune system is determined by our lifestyle, whether we're smoking or not, even secondhand smoke. But what we're finding is the most important thing is what we're eating. I know some of you have heard that sugar suppresses or weakens the immune system for up to 6 to 8 hours. So if you didn't know that, you should know it now. And whereas whole food, plant food, phytonutrients, fiber, antioxidants, micronutrients strengthen the immune system. Oh, what a novel idea. So if you want to have a strong immune system, and what we know, and there are thousands of studies worldwide in the last 70 years telling us this, the more plant food we eat, the lower our risk of dying from any cause. The more plant food and the more consistency, the more variety, the more colorful, the more often that we're eating plant food, the better. So how many of us are following the new food guide pyramid that is now called myplate.gov? Can y'all see this? This is what we should be eating every day. So 90% of what we should be eating every day should be plant food. And this is what is recommended for every meal every day. So half of your food every day should be fruits and vegetables. Half of every plate, every meal, every day. Should be grains, and a fourth should be protein. And they say half of that fourth, or 1/8 of the plate, should be plant protein. So that's 87.5%. That's just round up, say 90% of all the food that we eat every day. If we did this, we'll have a strong immune system. If we did this, we should, even if we're unlucky enough to come down with this viral disease, our body should be able to fight it off. So 90% of what we eat, I know you've heard 7 to 13 servings of plant food. That's not nearly enough, especially in this day and time, and especially if you already have a concurrent cofactor that I mentioned, like asthma, cardiovascular issues, autoimmune issues, or obesity, which seems to be more and more prevalent around. So, but we're not doing this. Instead, what we're doing, 90% of what we eat is processed and refined foods and sugar and animal source. So 66% is processed. Animal source is 26%. That's 92%. That is what the average American eats. It's why we are at such high risk of developing not only this virus, but severe sequela from the virus. And that is, we are not able to handle it. We're not able to, our immune system is so weakened that we can't handle it. So why is that? Why are we allowing this to happen? That's what I ask all the time. Why is this happening? So this is what we've learned in the last 2 decades, but especially the last 10 years, is that our immune system resides in our gut, in our digestive tract, and especially in the large intestine. the uh, our body is housing trillions, with a T, trillions of bacteria and viruses. We have supposedly over 100 trillion of these bacteria, and we have 5 to 6 times that number of viruses in and out and around our bodies. The difference in a virus and a bacteria is bacteria can live outside of a host. Viruses have to have a host. So they will come from some animal or from another human being, and as opposed to bacteria that actually live in the dirt, live in the soil. And now we're finding there are 20,000 species of bacteria. We're finding that half of them are beneficial, half of them are non-beneficial. Most of the beneficial ones help move our body toward a state of what's called homeostasis. And when we have a bacterial balance favoring the beneficial bacteria, our gut bacteria is in a state of what's called symbiosis. That's as opposed to a state of dysbiosis, where the bacteria are being fed by the standard American diet, which is processed food and sugar and gluten and dairy and animal sources. So the bottom line is we're not eating enough plant food. And our immune system is weaker because of it. And this dysbiosis is also called gut permeability, and it's also called leaky gut. So if we have leaky gut, what we have is we have a chronic state of inflammation. That inflammation is literally going all over the body, and it's causing our immune system to overreact and attack our own cells. That's called autoimmunity. And so this is so simply fixed. Those of you on the call that have heard the term Shred 10, it's where for 10 days we do everything, we consume everything that Juice Plus offers, and we give up sugar and sugar substitutes and gluten and dairy, and we give up alcohol and stimulants and those things. And when we can do that, then our bacterial balance favors the good bacteria. We no longer have this inflammation. We no longer are supporting autoimmune issues. We're no longer supporting inflammation that literally affects our neurons, our nerve cells in our first brain and in our second brain in our gut. And because of that, if we can favor the good bacteria, the beneficial bacteria, what we get is we get minimal or no dementia, Alzheimer's, depression, anxiety, Lou Gehrig's disease, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, MS, lupus, all of these conditions that are associated with inflammation. Isn't that novel? We have in our own power the ability to correct all of these things if we just understood it. Well, hopefully that's what tonight's about. The more plant food, the more beneficial bacteria, the less inflammation. Less inflammation, your immune system functions normally and not overly active or underactive. And if that occurs, then we should certainly be able to do all of these other things and even lose weight. What we're finding is if your bacterial balance is favoring the non-beneficial bacteria, you struggle with losing weight because of that inflammation. And when there is just an overabundance of inflammation, and your mucosal lining in the gut is damaged, we can fix that by consuming plant foods, which cause the beneficial bacteria to produce small chain fatty acids that then heal the mucosal lining of the gut, heal the gut, so that then you're in symbiosis. Your body is closer to a state of homeostasis, which is where everything in the body is balanced, including your hormones. And we're a lot healthier and we're a lot happier, and we have a strengthened, or we have a stronger, we have a enhanced immune system, so we can fight off these pathogens that are attacking our body, and plant food is so key. So I haven't been looking at the clock, but I'm going to look right now and see if now's a good time to open the floor to questions, or do you want me to keep talking, Elizabeth?
So Brandy's our timekeeper. It's about
Okay.
6:25. Maybe we have 5. You can go for about 5 more minutes. Is that good, Brandy? About
Yes, and
5
then
more
we'll take
minutes, and then we'll.
Yep.
What was that?
We'll take
Okay.
questions after that.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can go for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll have questions.
All right. Here's another benefit of eating plant foods. We have 46 chromosomes, 23,000 genes. We can turn our genes on and off. That's called epigenes, the controlling mechanism of turning or activating your genes. But the good news is we can turn off harmful pathogenic genes like the breast cancer gene, and we can turn on genes that literally protect the breast or the other cells, other tissues, and other organs. And we're finding that there are a lot of lifestyle options that can turn these genes on and off. And the most impactful is called nutrition. It's the simple choices that we're making every day. And if we can be 90% plant food, we're finding that there is a study of these plant foods as they affect the activation or expression of these genes, and it's called nutrigenomics or nutrigenomics, and it's the role that plant food plays in turning these genes on and off. And in fact, one of our latest studies showed that we turned on over 1,100 genes and turned off almost 600 genes that were not protective. So, and that's with Juice Plus, and that's in a relatively short period of time. That's the power of plant food with your genes. We know that oxidative stress, also known as, not exactly, but close to it, is also known as too many free radicals. And we're producing these all day long. And if you're not an elite athlete, the majority of your free radicals are produced when you're digesting food. But if you're an elite, or if you exercise an awful lot, say you run 40, 50, 60 miles a week, that's pretty extreme, you're producing more of these free radicals. The more free radicals, the shorter you live, the faster you age, and the faster you develop chronic diseases. We know that these free radicals are oxygen compounds missing an electron. And again, plant food, we know that we can neutralize these harmful compounds that are unbalanced by consuming plant foods, and especially plant foods that have even more antioxidants to donate electrons. So another reason to eat 90% plant food. So that's multiple reasons to change your plate to what's recommended, 90% plant food every meal, every day. It'll strengthen your immune system. It'll activate healthy genes and turn off destructive genes, and it will reduce this oxidative stress or chronic inflammation that literally shortens your life, causes you to age, and ultimately causes you to develop chronic disease. So plant food is the key. I want to mention Juice Plus, but I want to just discuss. I've had this asked me 3 times in the last 2 days. Well, why not just take a multivitamin? And the answer is multivitamins are man-made. They're limited. They're only 13. And the idea is that we're not vitamin deficient as nearly as much as we are whole food deficient. And if you look at how many electron donors there are, how many antioxidants in the world, and most of them come from plants, so most of them are called phytonutrients or plant compounds. And estimates are there are at least 50,000 of these plant compounds, and especially if we're eating a wide variety, we're changing the foods and not eating the same ones over and over. if we're eating the rainbow, if we're doing all these things, then we are reducing the negative effect of these free radicals that are causing us to age. So that's again, one more time, that's the key thing. Juice Plus is concentrated, complex carbohydrates, plant food, without the sugar or without the majority of the sugar. There are very few calories, only 2.5 calories per capsule. And these these plant powders, now we have 41 studies, and we just continue to roll them out. These plant powders are powerful, and we have studies that show, we have 4 that show what it does for the immune system. And I did want to talk about that just briefly, especially in this day and time, because 3 out of the 4 immune studies, we had one in 1999, one in 2006, one in 2007, one in 2010. And 3 of them have to do with reducing sick days and work days missed by people that are under a lot of stress, law students, elite athletes, a powerful police force in Australia called the Cobra Unit. It's a special forces unit, highly trained elite athletes. And it showed fewer duty days lost to illness and a decrease in tissue necrosis alpha, and a significant reduction in protein carbonyls. That's damage to protein. Both of these are biomarkers of oxidative stress or chronic inflammation. We have another study involving law students during flu season at University of Florida. That was a 2006 study showing an increase in plasma antioxidants called total antioxidant concentration, and a reduction in DNA strand breakage. Those are mutations that lead to cancer, and a significant increase in T circulating cells, which is a major component of the immune system, and fewer days and fewer symptoms from respiratory illness during flu season. So another study was done in Germany, but was published in the British Journal of Nutrition in 2010, and it evaluated nurses over a 8-month period of time that were involved in a clinical setting. They were exposed to seriously ill patients, and there was a significant reduction in symptoms of common colds and 20% fewer work days missed by those that were consuming Juice Plus. So if we can focus on our immune system, strengthening it, doing the things that doesn't weaken your immune system, it's amazing how trying to get your body in symbiosis and in homeostasis, how that can change your overall health, allowing you to be protective. So Juice Plus is antioxidants, and think of antioxidants as protection. Just think of them every time you're swallowing them. This is protecting me from this next virus from next year, or from what we're exposed to right now. Anything that your kids bring home from school is just added protection. I've heard somebody talk about it being a suit of armor that literally keeps you healthy. But it all begins with plant food and more plant food, and the more consistent. So don't be duped by saying 5 servings or even 7 servings is nearly enough. We need upward of 15 servings. Most people aren't going to do that. Juice Plus can bridge the gap between what you're eating and what you should eat. And isn't it amazing, and isn't it a blessing that we have this in our hip pocket every day, every day, every day? And the longer that you consume these powders, the more protection you have. Just don't miss a day. All right, I know my time's up, but I'll be thrilled to answer questions.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Odom. Just one thing that I wanted to add is that unlike multivitamins, this has a nutritional label on it.
There you go, right? Good, yep.
Have a multivitamin, it has a supplement label. So it doesn't have to be proven what's in there, but with this having a nutrition label, what is in this capsule is 100% what's in this capsule. So this one is the fruit blend, apple, peach, cranberry, orange, mango, lemon peel, cherry, pineapple, prune, date, beet, all in this capsule, right? So that's just the fruit blend. We have the fruit blend, the veggie blend, the berry blend, and then we also have omegas, vegan omegas. And they don't taste like fish because we took out the middle fish and we got it straight from the algae. So the omega blend has 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Now, we'll open it up for questions. So if you have a question, just unmute yourself and jump in. Don't be shy. Dr. Odom speaks to people all over the world about this stuff. So feel free to jump in. We're very privileged to have him here with us tonight.
Dr. Odom, I was just going to say, I've read that it's good to have around 20 servings if you exercise, if you're an athlete, because of all the stress on our body. What do you say about that?
I couldn't agree more. You are so right. I think that everybody should be consuming as many servings of plant food as they can get. I think that you can't overdo this protection. And if you have a very exciting life like you do, and you exercise 3 or 4 hours a day, you are producing more free radicals. If you're pregnant or if you're a nursing mom, you're producing more free radicals just because while you're pregnant, you've got a double dose there of tissue that is rapidly accelerating. And then once you deliver, you have an almost depletion because the baby is absorbing everything and leaving you with little. So it takes months to literally get your micronutrient levels back up where they need to be. Most cancer patients just exsanguinate. They die because there is just over and over and over tissue replication and using up all of the available antioxidants. So the more the better. You can store some, but not that long, especially if they're water soluble. We have 13 vitamins. We have 13 vitamins, 4 that are fat soluble, 9 that are water soluble. So we probably have about a like number of phytonutrients, and it means that if they're water soluble, within 24 hours they're gone. So we can save, or we can bank a little bit of the A, D, E, and K, the fat soluble vitamins, and some of these other compounds that don't have names but that are very critical for our health that are found in plants. But it's important that we do this day after day after day because our body uses them. When you're laying out in the sunshine down in Florida, like I know you love to do, Angel, when your skin's getting a little red, what it's doing is it's using up all those antioxidants that are in your skin, and before you know it, they're gone, and now you get skin damage, and you get so, not you, but somebody that lays out in the sun too long, they would use up all their available antioxidants for protection, and now they incur damage. So you want to just have an overabundance or an excess of antioxidants. And the way to do that's, like you said, eat 20 servings if you will. If you don't, eat 6 or 8 and double or triple your Juice Plus. It's not going to hurt you. It's balanced nutrition. Vitamins are man-made in a factory. You can easily overdose them. And there are no studies in the last 20 years, with rare exceptions, that say that vitamins are going to benefit you, period. And there's a much better way to get the benefit of what's in a multivitamin, and that's to eat the food. And if not the food, all of the foods. And the best way, or one of the best ways to get 30-something, as Brandy said, is to consume these powders.
Dr. Odom, I have a question. This is Elizabeth.
Yes.
A lot of people are told to take probiotics right now. I know a lot of people are taking those. So what's what's the difference, and do you need to still take probiotics if you do the Juice Plus? Can you kind of clarify that for us?
Okay, well, the first question that I would ask is, what is a probiotic? What's the definition of a probiotic? Not to put you on the spot, I'll answer it, but a probiotic is just the good bacteria. It's the beneficial bacteria. And we have 20,000 strains of these bacteria that we're hosting. And half are beneficial, and essentially, approximately, and half are non-beneficial. And the beneficial ones are called probiotics, but they also have another name, and it's called bifidobacteria, or it's under an umbrella called Bacteroides. So rather than take a pill that has 3 or 4 or maybe even as many as 10 strains of beneficial bacteria, I have a better suggestion. And because I've gone back and forth with these probiotics, my wife and I have taken them, and I'll come back to that. But I would encourage you to feed the good bacteria, all of them, all 10,000. And what is it that feeds the good bacteria? It's fiber and phytonutrients. And so, do we get fiber in Juice Plus? Yes, we do. We get a little bit in our capsules, but we get a lot in our protein powder, a lot. We get 8 grams of fiber. We get 13 grams of vegan plant protein. And so that is highly beneficial because that's what the good bacteria thrive on. That's what they eat. And then they also thrive on what's trapped inside the fiber, and that's called phytonutrients. That's what's in our capsules. So all of that feeds the good bacteria. On the other hand, what we are doing in America, because 2/3 of all calories consumed are processed, and that's feeding the non-beneficial. And that's why our immune systems are so unbalanced, because we're feeding the wrong bacteria, and it's causing our gut lining, of which 85% is our immune system. It's causing our gut lining to be constantly inflamed, so it's not functioning properly.
So
we can fix that in a relatively short period of time, like less than a month. And if you're all in on the Shred 10, you might do it in 10 days, but you can do it in 2 or 3 weeks.
Can I ask a question?
You sure can.
Okay. Hi, this is Vanessa. How are you?
Hey, how you?
Good. You got to hurry up and get back down to Florida. All right.
I'm leaving as soon as this is over. I'll get in the car.
Okay. I'll be looking for you. I want to ask you a question.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
husband, there he is.
Hey
Say
there.
hi.
Hey, husband, how you doing?
How you doing?
This is Calvin.
Great.
You flirting with my wife?
No. Are you flirting with me? No, I want to ask you a question. He has been one sick puppy since January 24th. He's had shingles. He then had the flu. And then he ended up in the hospital down here in Florida with a bacterial infection in his bloodstream. And we found out he has gallstones. So he started on the Juice Plus as soon as he got out of the hospital. So do you recommend anything that I should do more for
I'm
him?
going to have the gallstones is scheduled to take it out.
Yeah, they're scheduled to get the gallbladder out.
Unless you know of a
Okay.
way to get it fixed.
It may be too little too late with Juice Plus for his gallbladder and his gallstones. However, to enhance his immune system so that he fights off the next bacterial infection or the next organism, the next thing that attacks him, so that he's strong, would be to, on your end, feed him as many plant foods as he will. Go vegan if he'll do it, especially for the next 2 or 3, 4, 6 months. If he's comfortably tolerating Juice Plus, I would go from 2 capsules to 4.
Oh, okay.
And then I'd go from that to 6. It's a tiny bit of money. It is less than virtually every medicine, but it's a way to strengthen his immunity. It's a way that he can get his body back in symbiosis and homeostasis, and he'll be feeding the beneficial bacteria.
Okay.
So limit sugar, dairy, and gluten, which is wheat, barley, and rye. Limit those foods. They're very inflammatory. That's a
Okay.
great question. So you can help him just by modeling what you put on his plate, because you put it on your plate too.
Awesome. Yes, it's been really good. He's been doing good. I have to yell at him sometimes. Get out of there. I hear you. I hear you in there getting into something. So, but he's doing pretty
If,
good.
if he's very close to homeostasis, you can allow him to have a slice of cake on his birthday.
Okay,
But
good.
right now he needs to get well, and he needs to get serious, and he
Yes.
needs to attack plant food like there's no tomorrow.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
yeah, he has an appointment on April 28th with his surgeon. So
Okay,
we're
good. Well, if he can jack up his Juice Plus a little bit, if he can add more, and you can afford it, and he tolerates it, it doesn't cause bloating or whatever, and at this point it certainly shouldn't. He
Yeah.
will heal twice as fast, because he is that much healthier when he has his surgery.
Okay,
And
one more quick question. I have had him because since January, he's been on antibiotics just to the never ending. So I've had him on prebiotics since he's been out of the hospital. So, but he's he stepped out of the room. He's very constipated. What do you recommend?
Water, 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 water.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Fiber and water will make him regular.
All
And
right.
but I will tell you, antibiotics destroy that balance, that healthy
Yeah.
balance, if he had it.
Yes.
It's not just antibiotics, but that's one of the worst things.
Okay.
And other things are antacids that a lot of people are consuming, blood pressure medication,
Yeah, he's on.
anxiety medicine, depression medicine,
Okay.
all of these hormones, birth control pills, hormones for women over 50, all of those affect this balance. And it's the balance that literally determines your health.
Okay.
So
Great.
next time, hopefully he won't need any more antibiotics.
Yeah.
Most of the people on this call that have been doing this for a while, it's a while since most of them have had an antibiotic, because A, they're very anti-antibiotics, and
Right.
B, because they aren't sick nearly as much.
Right.
Our company, when you reach the top level, our company gives us a benefit package, and along with that is a drug card. And we've used it one time in my family, and that was medication for our puppies. So we don't like medicine, and we want to have a life, and we want to live the life where we don't have to take medicine. And the people that are really sick with this COVID-19, almost all of them have a comorbidity. They have obesity, they have asthma, they have blood pressure, high blood pressure, or they have cardiovascular issues, or they have an autoimmune issue, most of which most of them are taking the medicine because that's all the doctors know today. But that can be fixed by fixing the gut. We know that today. There's so many books today that are saying just what I'm telling you right now. Fix the gut, you fix so many things. Great questions. Thanks for asking.
I think we have time for one more question.
Hi, Dr. Odom. This is Chanel. Very good information. Hi. My question is in regards to cheese. I know that cheese, like a lot of people love cheese, and I know you showed us the My Plate. I didn't know what the cheese recommendation was, but why is cheese such a dairy, such a risk for us, and how is there a certain amount we can have, or it's just something we should not do at all?
Well, I'm going to tell you what the guidelines are and the recommendations, and if you want to go, I won't say go against, but you can decide what you want to do. But dairy is not recommended. Dairy is not your friend. I'm so sorry. I like cheese myself. It's not good for us. It is inflammatory. It is animal source. And have you ever heard of casein?
Yeah, the cheese.
Casein. Yeah, that's a protein that's found in dairy. It's a carcinogen. You really don't want it. And when you get through with this call, if you have any male in your life, your dad, a spouse, a child, and they like milk, which most men do, just Google dairy and prostate cancer. And that'll probably help you make a decision, especially maybe not for you, but for them. But I'll just tell you, gluten is the same way. It's found in bread. It's found in many, many, many sources. It's added to so many processed foods. Another reason not to eat processed food. But you want to eat anti-inflammatory foods. That's plant food. Animal source, I'm sorry, even grass-fed beef is considered inflammatory. So you just, if not eliminate it, you literally want to minimize it. You want to limit it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good question. I used to be a cheese addict, and now I'm not.
Well, okay. It's all right. We all can make changes. And the best thing I can tell you is, no matter how old you are, I'm in my 70s, and it's never too late to make some changes that will affect your future. And the more you can make, the more consistent you can be, the quicker things will happen, the longer you'll live, the more vitality and energy that you'll have, the more passion. And I know we don't want to live to be, forever, but while we're here, don't we want to enjoy life? So I've just tried to give you a roadmap here. You need to move every day. You need to drink 3 quarts of clean water. You need to get 8 hours of sleep and let your body recover. You need to either reduce stress in your life or literally learn how to deal with it. And then the last thing is, you really want to eat plant foods. 90% of the food that's on your plate, 90% of your calories should be plant food. And if you reach that state of homeostasis, you can eat plant food. But if you have an issue, if you have an illness, if you're taking medicine, if you're one of those elite athletes that Angel was talking about, or if you're a cancer survivor or a pregnant mom, or a diabetic especially, then you need to be as close to 100% on this veganism, because that's your answer. That's your key. You want to be back homeostasis. That's the way to do it. There are lots of books that have been written about reversing early stages of cancers, reversing diabetes, reversing cardiovascular disease. And every one of these books, the common thread of the entire book is plant-based foods. It's fiber and phytonutrients. So thank y'all so much for giving me, 50 minutes? Gee. Didn't you say 30, Brandy or Elizabeth?
Yeah,
I'm
you
so
were
sorry.
on a roll. You were on a roll, and you're just a wealth of knowledge. So we just
I'm
keep
just
going.
thrilled to be with y'all, and really enjoyed it. Thank you, Brandy and Elizabeth, for putting this together. And Maria, I saw you a minute ago. Thank you for supporting it as well. And till the next time, thank y'all.
Thanks, Dr. Odom.
Thank you.
So just to kind of wrap up here, just a little bit about my story and kind of why I started taking Juice Plus. If this one over here would come into the frame, this is my son, and he is an elite athlete, and he is now getting all of the fruits and vegetables he needs that I know that when he went to college, he was not getting. And we have him on the children's health study that we have, and which means that children from 4 years old up until college age, 4 years in college, they can get our fruit and veggie gummies or chewables for free for 4 years. So if you decide that this is something for you and you want to sponsor a child, sponsor a cousin, sponsor somebody else's child, you can do that. And for me, that was just giving me the peace of mind that he was getting what he needed. I'm also getting what I need, but the fact that this one over here, who wasn't eating enough fruits and vegetables, I had to call him and text him in college, be like, did you take your Juice Plus? So because of Dr. Odom, he created that study. So then now our children can get their fruits and veggies for free. So that's so exciting for me.
Oh, Brandy,
Just
can I sponsor my grandchildren?
each adult can sponsor one child,
Awesome.
4 to 18, or if they're a full-time college student in college. And it's not just the gummies for college students. If your son would rather, Brandy, if he would rather with the capsules, he can get those free, just same as the gummies. I don't know what his preference is. And I didn't start that, to be perfectly honest. I was on the original board. So it wasn't my board, literally, on, because I really saw that kids need this as much as adults. Maybe college age kids, and I've had 5 go through college, probably even more, because most of them don't eat really healthy. I do have a question for your son though, Brandy. What's your name?
Cameron.
I'm sorry.
Cameron.
Cameron? Cameron. Since you started Juice Plus, can you tell that your performance has gotten better? Has it improved?
Yeah, so I didn't really take it every day in the fall. I could definitely tell a difference. And then come January, I started taking it every day. And then I added the omegas and then the berries. And my performance was kind of average, and then it just spiked up, and it started helping out so much.
You're a long distance runner, aren't you?
I am.
Aren't you? Yeah. Well, that would be great. This is your secret solution here to beat all those other people. Don't tell them until you beat them, and then you can tell them.
Yeah, great question. All right, so we'll just wrap up here. And there are a couple of types of people on the call tonight. The first one is that you learned something, and that there's something that you can take back, something that you can do one small change today to improve your health and to help to support your immune system. And we have tons of free resources out there, so you can get with the person that invited you to the call tonight, and we can share recipes and workouts and all of our resources that we have. Number 2, you've realized that you're ready to make a change, and maybe now is when it's time to make a change. And if you're ready to start Juice Plus, again, check with the person that invited you. And then also the third type of person is all in. We like to share our mission. Right now, our business is booming. March was the biggest month that we had ever in our company. So we are sharing this with anybody and everybody. This is the gift of health. And this is not us selling you a product. This is sharing with you an easy solution for being able to improve your health. And, just me personally, I've been in health and wellness all my life. But once I started doing Juice Plus on a regular basis, like my hair, my skin, my eyes, my energy, like I can't even tell you the last time I went to the doctor. So, yeah, that's it. So hopefully you guys learned some stuff from Dr. Odom today, and we just want to thank Dr. Odom for taking some time. We are recording this session, so if you want to hear it again, maybe you missed something or had to walk away, or if you want to share it with somebody that you know. So maybe if it's not for you, you know somebody that really needs Juice Plus.
Brandy, that was a great wrap up. That's as good as I've heard. That was excellent.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cameron, don't you miss a day with that Juice Plus now. I want to see you win some championships.
All right. Thanks so much, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Dr. Odom. That was awesome.
you.
So much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming. Hey, Robin.
Bye.
Yes.
Brandy.
How do we listen to the recording?
So Elizabeth will have the recording. It takes a while for it to download. So you can check with Dr. Odom, or you can check back in with myself or Elizabeth, and we can send it to you.
Okay, how do I get in touch with you, Brandy?
You can find me on Facebook.
Okay, Brandy Anderson. All right.
Brandy Garrett Anderson.
And I might get in touch with Dr. Odom also.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll make sure that.
Please do. Please call me. Please.
Do you recognize me?
I do. How
It's
are
been a
you?
long time.
I know. Thank you for being on.